always wanted one of these since I was a kid. Took till I was a 40-year-old man to get one with an Arts Council grant. 1 in 5 gay men and women experienced a hate crime last year. When that comes to trans and people of other gender variants, that's 2 in 5. 44% of LGBTQIA plus people have had suicidal ideation. When it comes to travellers, that's 60% of LGBTQIA plus travellers have attempted suicide, with the first suicide attempt being 16 years old. So this ejects 20 bubbles a second approximately. The number of bubbles that just went into the air then, while I was reading out those facts, are the number of people who are LGBTQIA plus who will experience a hate crime this week. So, no, I'm not a political drag queen, but I do believe that being seen, being out there, being proud of my self, telling my story is a political act. In 2003, the law was repealed. What law am I thinking of? Thank you, darling. Section 28 was repealed. I've had a glass of Prosecco, dears. Section 28 was repealed. But the legacy of not being able to talk about ourselves at school, tell our stories, exercise ways to uphold our rights, a legacy of homophobia still prevails. Even in Chicago, one of the best loved songs in the show has a verse which seems to endorse homophobic hate crime. Pulse, tits, squish, dimword, sissy ho, lip shits. Pulse, tits, squish, dimfall, sissy ho, lip shits. Pulse, tits, squish, dimfall, sissy ho, lip shits. He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. If you had been there, if you had seen it, I tell you, you would have done the same. I loved Alvin Lipschitz more than I could possibly say. He was a real artistic guy, a painter, real sensitive. He was always trying to find himself. He would go out every night looking for himself. And on the way, he found Ruth, Rosemary, and Gladys, and Irving. I guess you could say we split up because of artistic differences. He saw himself as alive. I saw him dead. The dirty bum, bum, bum. The dirty bum, bum, bum. He had it coming. He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. If you had been there, if you had seen it, I tell you, you would have done the same. So, me and my mates got on the night bus this one night, right? And there were these 2 birds snogging. We thought, well, hey! But it just wasn't going anywhere. So, we started throwing money at them and shouting things like, "Get your tits out, slags!" Still nothing. So, I get up and I go over to them and I slap one of them around the face. Girls get really horny when you do that. It did get a bit out of hand. My mates joined in. They ended up in hospital, but what a waste of a boner. I didn't even get to squish their tits. They had it coming. They had it coming. They only had themselves to blame. If you had been there, if you had seen it, I tell you, you would have done the same. You know, some people have these annoying habits that get you down. Like my boyfriend, Miguel. He always says, "Baby, I don't like you when you drink." Old faggy. So, I finished work this one time. I'd had a real hard day at the police academy, and I'm looking for a bit of sympathy. So I go and meet him in the nightclub, and he's there, stood with a soda. I say, "Miguel, we're in a Pulse nightclub. What are you doing standing there with a soda?" He says, "Baby, I don't like you when you drink." And all his friends nod. All faggy. So, I get my weapon out of my bag and I fired 250 shots into Pulse nightclub Orlando. No more faggy. They had it coming. blame. If you had been there, if you had seen it, I tell you, you would have done the same.
Gareth Thomas, mae'n fucking icon. Edrychwch pawb yn Gymru I fyny ato, ac wedyn dywedodd e fod yn un o'r reini a'i fod yn AIDS. Ydych chi'n gwybod faint o hogau a gallw diharwydd rwy'n I henw? Fel I meddyliaeth, rydw i'n mynd a'i ddrynu. Dim ond ys mae efiwr cyfnwr mwyaf yn hanes rygbi. Rydw i'n meddylus, dim ond bod yn fwy na fi. Fel yw nes I, fe wnes I a'i ddrynu. Nes I ffucio fel am ein gwirionedd.
Yeah, but did he deserve it?
Dim ffordd. Roedd wedi dod.
He had it coming.
Roedd wedi dod.
He had it coming. Only had
Dim ond
himself
ys
to
mae
blame.
dod.
If you had been
Ni
there,
bedach chi
if you had seen
Os
it,
fysoch chi,
I tell you, you would have done the same. My sister Veronica and I are just addicted to Mum's Net. My husband Charlie had just poured us a drink. We found this thread. Drag queens reading to children in libraries. Lashes, wigs, dressing with splits, stiletto heels, gurning faces, all in front of these poor little children. Charlie said, "Is that what the young people call sissy hoes?" He said, "Oh, wash your mouth out." We did laugh. I can't really remember the rest of the evening. Too much Malbec. It wasn't until the next day when I saw the newspaper headlines. Twitter user threatens to throw acid in drag queen's face. Well, I was in such a state of shock. I couldn't remember the rest of the evening. It wasn't until I looked at my internet history that I even realized that the tweets were mine. Well, children are very over-sexualized these days. They had it coming.
They had it coming.
It had it coming. It only had
It only
itself
had
to blame.
itself to blame.
If you had been there,
If you
had seen it, I
you had
tell
seen
you,
it,
you
you
would have done the same. They had it coming.
They had it coming.
They had it coming.
They had it coming.
They only had
They only
themselves
had
to blame. If you had been there,
If you had been
if you
there,
had seen it,
if you had seen
I
it,
tell you, you would have done